Hey y'all, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today I'm going to be answering another question about the Nintendo Switch. The question I'm going to be covering in today's video is whether you should buy a Nintendo Switch now in 2021 or whether you should hold off and wait for the next iteration of the Switch. There's been a lot of talk about the Nintendo Switch Pro. A lot of people were thinking it was going to be released the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021, and Nintendo has said they're not going to release it right now. But what does that mean? Does that mean it's going to release in a couple of months? Does that mean it's going to release in a couple of years? And what should you do in regards to that? Should you wait? Should you buy a Switch now? What is your best option? So that's what I'm going to cover in today's video. Give you my opinion on what you should do depending on what your circumstances are. Before I hop into that, please be sure to hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel, as it really does help us out a lot and allows other people around the internet to see these videos and get the answers to their questions as well. So let's go ahead and hop into whether you should buy a Nintendo Switch now or wait for the Nintendo Switch Pro. If you were to ask 5 different people whether you should buy the Nintendo Switch now or the Nintendo Switch Pro when it releases, you would likely get multiple different answers. You would get them saying, oh, you should 100% wait for the Switch Pro because it's going to have better graphics, or it's going to have a better battery life, or it's going to have this better or that better. You'll have other people that are saying, no, the Nintendo Switch Pro isn't going to come out for a long time. It's not worth waiting on. Why is it like that? And how are you supposed to know what you should do? Now, all I can do is give my opinion. And as you can see, I've got the Switch here in front of me. So I obviously didn't wait for the Switch Pro. But should you wait for it? And it really comes down to a couple of different things that are personal to you. The first one is, what are you going to use the Switch for? If you plan on using your Switch to play with games with your family, to play when you're on road trips, or to take with you on vacation so you can play in a hotel or wherever you're going to be staying, or take over to family's house and play Mario Party or Mario Kart and those sorts of things with it, then waiting for the Switch Pro really won't get you very much. You will get better graphics. They've said that it's going to have better graphics. It will likely have better battery life simply because batteries are continually getting better. So it will likely have at least those 2 things going for it. However, the games that will play on the Switch won't change from the Switch to the Switch Pro. It'll still be the Switch games with the cartridges. So that means any new games that come out, even after the Switch Pro has been released, you'll still be able to play on your original Switch or on your Animal Crossing Switch or whatever Switch edition that you have. So that won't change. Yes, the graphics will be better, but quite honestly, many of the games for the Switch aren't fun because of the graphics. Some of them even have graphics that could be considered quite bad. For example, my kids and I play a lot of the Lego games on the Nintendo Switch. And sometimes they'll have weird buffering issues, and sometimes it'll take longer for them to load than it should, and they'll have kind of odd issues like that. But you know what my kids' favorite games to play on the Switch are? The Lego games. They don't care that it takes a little longer. They don't care if the graphics aren't the best in the world. They're 5 and 9, my 2 older ones. They don't care if it's got a little bit better graphics or the Xbox or the PlayStation has better graphics. They enjoy playing the games on the Switch. So if that's you, if you're buying it for yourself or for your family or even for friends to play on, the graphics probably aren't that big of a deal. So holding out for the Pro just to get a little bit of graphics probably won't change that much. Now, in regards to battery life, let's say the Pro has a better battery life. Let's say instead of the 5 to 6 hours that you get with the current Switch, if you're going to buy a new one, you get 5 to 6 hours. Let's say they're able to get an extra hour out of it, which that would be a considerable amount. Is it worth holding out for it? Again, it depends on your circumstances, but in my opinion, no. And that's simply because you can buy things to make your Switch battery life last longer. If you're not going to be at home, you're going to be road tripping or something like that, you can buy battery boxes, you can buy power banks super cheap. It is ridiculous how much battery power you can get in a little power bank on Amazon or on other things. I have a power bank that I have used to power a Switch for multiple hours when I wasn't even plugged in or anything like that. I charged the power bank, I had it going, and then my Switch battery life was about 5 hours. I've got another video on that as well here on the channel about my actual test of the battery life on the Switch. But the power bank gave us multiple extra hours anyway. So for an extra 20 or 30 bucks, that's what a power bank will cost you, you can get the extra battery life on your current Switch and you don't even have to worry about waiting and buying a Switch Pro. Again, it's a personal decision. Why are you going to be buying the Switch? If you're buying it to play and to have fun with your children, with your family, maybe even with your friends, then it's likely the increased battery life, because it won't be gigantic, won't be that big of a deal. And it's likely that the increased graphics won't be that big of a deal either. Now, there might be some other things that will come up when the Pro is actually released, and it might be worthwhile for some people to buy the Pro instead of buying the older Switch. But it's likely that the Switch Pro will cost more than the actual Switch. It won't be $299. So you're going to have to pay extra for those increased graphics. You're going to likely have to pay extra for the increased battery life and whatever other changes that they had made for the Switch on the Switch Pro. So right now, is it worth you waiting to buy the Switch Pro? In my opinion, the answer is no. If you're looking to have fun, if you're looking to play these games with your family, with your younger children, with your grandchildren, with friends, the Switch is one of the best consoles of all time to do it with. Many people preferred the Wii to play with family, but honestly the Switch is just as fun. It doesn't have the motion as much as the Wii does, but these little Joy-Cons are also motion activated, so you can turn them. On Mario Party, you shake them to do things, kind of like the Wii. It's a ton of fun to play on the Switch, to play all the different games on the Switch. So it's great to buy, whether it's the original one or whether you wait for the Pro. My personal opinion, though, is I would just wait for the Pro because of those reasons. Now, when Nintendo officially announces the Pro, whether that's later this year, whether that's sometime in 2022, whenever that is, it's possible that they will add some amazing new features to the Pro that makes it where you have to have it. But as of now, the only things that have been rumored is going to be the increased battery life and then the increased graphics for the Switch Pro. Personally, I don't feel that that's worth it. Hope this video has been helpful to you. Again, my name is Matt from RetroOnly.com. Please hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about gaming and gaming with your family on the Switch and other similar consoles as well. Have a great day.